Sorry about that. That alarm went off. And as you guys know what that alarm is from before, ring, 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 med time. But I'm going to finish this, what I was trying to say. I hate when these alarms... Okay. Get back, Yum Yum, get back. Sorry. This is really hard for me to go on YouTube and put my life out here and tell my story. I don't think my brother would like me doing this, only because he doesn't want people to know our business. He just puts it in a box and moves on. He doesn't want to relive it. He doesn't want anybody else to know about it. He's embarrassed. He doesn't think that it's necessary to tell people. And that's where we disagree. I feel like he had a story to tell, and he would have helped a lot of people. But he's not here right now. So I'm here to tell his story. So to make a long story short, I was in 3 psych wards back to back to back because, oh yeah, rewind, okay, the alarm messed me up. So basically, when I drove down the cliff, it was a 20-foot cliff, ditch, 20 foot. The car flipped 8 times. I landed upside down, and my car was literally a pancake. Like, it was flat. Everything flew out the windows except for me and my cell phone. Don't know how that happened because I didn't have no seatbelt on, obviously. But when I don't know how long I was out for, but when I came to and realized that I was alive, I was like pissed. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this car is crumpled to pieces and split in half, and somehow, like, I survived this? Like, I was so angry. Like, I can't even kill myself right, you know what I mean? And I was in this ditch. It's cold out, you know. It's winter time. So my cell phone somehow, you know, was in my core right in front of me. Because if my cell phone would have flown out, I wouldn't have been able to call for help. It's just crazy. Because I walked out of there. Well, I didn't walk out of there. I was extradited from a stretcher in the passenger window. The point is, the only injury I got was a tiny scratch, which it's obviously not there anymore. But I said, you know what? I don't want to die in this ditch of starvation or frostbite. So I did what I probably shouldn't have done, because like I said, I'm not in New York anymore. I'm in Pennsylvania, which there's not many people that look like us there. And I'm in the middle of nowhere where there's not many people or any people at all that lives in these areas. But I had to call somebody to get me out. So my first mistake was calling 911. They seemed nice in the beginning. They're like, you know, it's okay, honey. Don't go to sleep. Make sure your phone's on so they can GPS it, because I didn't know where I was at. I was out of it. I was in and out of consciousness. So they had to GPS my phone. This is how far out in the middle of nowhere I was, that it took the officer 2 hours to find me. It was ridiculous. But when the officer came to the core, he talked to me and he was like, it's okay, honey, help is here, we're gonna get you out. You know, I felt really, I had mixed emotions. I was happy that I was, you know, getting out of this ditch, but I was sad because I was still alive. The second this officer went into the core and saw what I look like, okay, the first thing that came out of his mouth was, what is your kind doing out here in the middle of nowhere? Mind you, I'm in and out of consciousness. I have concussions. I can't talk right. I can't speak. You know, I'm trying to talk to him and tell him what's going on. And he's like, oh, you must be on something. You're not even talking right. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Like, are you really kidding me? And I just felt violated. I did. He thought I was a criminal, that I was out to cause trouble. I was either selling drugs, doing drugs, or trying to hurt somebody. Because he searched my glove department. And in the way back, yes, I had a pocket knife. But who doesn't have a pocket knife? I mean, I live in freaking the middle of the country. I went from the city to the country. Everyone has hunting or has pocket knives. People hunt. You know, it's a redneck country place. And I didn't think that I needed to have a permit to carry a pocket knife. I'm a single woman who lives alone, and I had a pocket knife. So for him to say that I was using this knife for illegal activity was ridiculous. It's just like, where's the help? Like, all he cared about was interrogating me. He didn't care about, you know, saving me or getting me out of that ditch. All he cared about was, I'm gonna just be real with you, he was a racist person. He's a racist, not even a person. He was an evil, racist, bigoted piece of shit. Point blank, period. And he searched my car and he saw my medications. And without even looking at the medications, they're my psych meds, he assumed that they were like illegal drugs. And I was in and out of it, so I couldn't even like explain to him why I had these medications. And it was terrible. I felt like a criminal. Like, now I know what my brother warned me about. He said, don't go to college out there. You know what I mean? He said, stay in New York. You cannot run from your problems. Stay in New York. They're not going to treat you right over there. They're not going to. I should have listened. I mean, hearing that, like, in my head, I'm like, wow, I messed up. You look like me or anybody else that's not of the Caucasian race, or if you have an Arabic name like me, you don't want to be around police. Certain police. And I'm not saying all police officers are bad, but the state trooper that I dealt with was bad. So he takes me to the hospital. Well, the ambulance does, and he wants to follow along because I guess he has to. And I was talking, I guess I was saying, Jabril, I'm sorry, Jabril, I didn't mean to do this. And they don't know who Jabril is. So they're thinking I'm on something because I'm talking crazy. Jabril, I was saying things like Talia Malik, Jabril, over and over again. And they're like, yeah, she's on something. She's not even making any sense. And then I go to the hospital. And then when I came to, I heard him tell the nurse, get a toxicology on that one. That one's trouble. So the nurse treated me like crap because she's listening to the officer. And they had me sign all of these papers. I didn't know what the papers were because this officer had to have a search warrant to get my blood unless I was able to give him consent. Now, he knew I was out of it. So he gave me papers that I didn't even know what I was signing. I wasn't able to give consent because of my circumstances. He didn't want to get a search warrant because he didn't have any grounds to. So he manipulated me into signing papers that I thought were just hospital papers. And I didn't know that you can get in trouble for having psych meds in your system. I had no clue at all. So when I went to another psych ward, I found out that this officer had called my landlord to tell my landlord what happened, called my job, called my psychiatrist, called everybody, and called PennDOT, told everybody. And I'm thinking, why is this? He must have too much time on his hands to be calling all of these people to tell them lies about me. It was terrible. I couldn't do anything in the psych ward to protect myself or to tell these doctors the truth. And then I got papers, excuse me, I got papers in the psych ward that he was pressing charges and trying to get me for a drug DUI. The worst I ever got was a speeding ticket. I am a college graduate with 2 degrees, that I worked myself through college. I had my own place, I had my own car, I had a good career. You know, not all black people live on the welfare system, to be honest. Anyone that I know that's been on food stamps or welfare have been white people. I don't know any black people. I mean, right now I'm in a white town, but I don't get that type of help. I work my ass off every single day helping people. So, you know, getting this charge, especially being in school for criminal law and justice and wanting to further my degree so I can be a lawyer and then eventually a judge, because the things that my brother and I went through, we had no justice. And instead of sitting around complaining about it, I wanted to make a difference. And that's why I chose law and criminal law. I wanted to make a difference. And I knew with this charge being on me, sorry everyone, like I told you I'm sick. With this charge being on me, I would go to jail, I would lose my licenses, I would lose my job, everything. So it was tough. But you think it doesn't get any worse than that, right? It gets a lot worse than that. While I was in the psych ward, my brother, a month prior to when he got murdered, he, as you guys can see, and I need to paint my nails. As you guys can see, I have no rings on my fingers. I mean, on my fingers, I have no rings. I had 6 rings that my brother bought me. And those rings never came off. I showered with them. I cleaned with them. I went to work with them. Like, it was special. You know, my brother thought of me, and he bought me expensive rings. And he always surprises me. He's my best friend. I mean, he spent all that money on me. But anyways, make a long story short, I wasn't going to sleep at the psych ward. Now, I will tell you what the psych ward is, because this place has been shut down for all types of things. Abuse of residents, techs having sex with minors, nasty living conditions, bugs. So yes, I will put this psych ward on blast, and I don't care if you try to come at me with a lawsuit, because I don't care. It's called the Meadows Psychiatric Center. Again, the Meadows Psychiatric Center. Because what happened to me in that place was disgusting, and it's happened before, and it's probably happening again. So someone needs to take this place down, and if I gotta be the one to do it, I'm gonna do it. Okay? Anyways, since I wasn't sleeping for days and days because I was having flashbacks every night of my brother's murder, and it was scaring me, so I didn't sleep. And they put me on this heavy medication. I think it was like Thorazine or what, I don't know what it was, but it knocked me out. And I was getting a new roommate, and not only did she steal the rings that my brother bought me before his murder, but she molested me in my sleep. Because I woke up to it. And, you know, I've been molested and stuff. I've been abused, like, okay, in foster care. So I know what that's like. I was more upset about the rings. I already lost my brother. I now may be going to jail because I tried to kill myself. And now, the only thing that I have left in my brother were his rings. And nobody seemed to care. I had to file so many grievances, so many complaints. Nobody cared about getting these rings back. I had other people at the psychiatric center help me file grievances on my behalf. They did talk to me when other people had to file grievances, but nothing was ever done. But I bet you if I did that to her, if I fingered her, if I stole her rings, I'd be in jail right now, not talking to you guys. So, that place, I felt like I was being re-victimized all over again. I really did. I just want justice. Because of my psych ward, I lost visitation of my niece and nephew because they didn't think it was stable enough. Which I do agree. I see their point. If I'm very suicidal, what if I did something in front of my niece and nephew? I get it. So even though I left the Meadows Psychiatric Center, I was worse off because now I don't have his rings. Now I feel violated sexually. And I have nobody. I have nobody. So it's hard. It's really hard. It is really hard. But there's one thing I did. And I said, you know what? I'm going to work my ass off to not just get visitation back, but to get custody. When I got out of this psych ward, I didn't go into some corner crying or whatever. No, I did what I had to do. I got a therapist that I see twice a week. Unfortunately, my psychiatrist that I was having dropped me because the officer lied. So I got a new psychiatrist that I have to travel an hour to. But I don't care. I'll do whatever I have to do. I go to a program 3 times a week. It's like a mental health rehab program, and they do different things to help people with mental health issues and help them with resources. And it's like a support system. It's like a family. They welcome me in like a family because I don't have one. And I also have a peer specialist, someone who comes to my house twice a week, who talks about, I guess, just an extra support, like not really a therapist, but just someone who is just there for you. They've been through similar things, and so they want to help you. I also have a case manager who helps me with resources in the community and make sure that I'm getting the right care. Basically, I have all these organizations that I chose to do because I want to prove to the courts that, yes, I made a big mistake, but I need custody of my niece and nephew. And if they can see all the work that I've been doing after that, they will see that I'm taking this serious. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I wasn't thinking about my niece and nephew. It was such an impulsive thing. I did not want to live. And then to find out that she got molested again last month. And unfortunately, I'm still working too. After doing all these things, I'm still working. My job says until I get a conviction, they cannot legally fire me. So I'm doing everything I can do to be a good person, to get my niece and nephew back, because they may not make it. They weren't like my brother and I, coming from the hood with crack addict parents, eating paint off the walls, cockroaches because we were hungry, stuff, have to deal with prostitution and men touching us. They didn't have to deal with that. Okay, my brother spoiled them rotten. So I don't know if they had the strength to get through the system, because it's a bad. They're already in 5 foster homes already, and it's been a few months. I don't have money for an attorney, and it sucks, because if I had an attorney to help me beat this case, not only will I be able to keep my job, and I'll be able to further my education, but I'll be able to get my niece and nephew back. Because if I go to jail, I'll lose everything. I'll lose my job, I'll lose my house, I'll be homeless, and I will never be able to get my niece and nephew back. I had no one fighting for me in foster care. That's why I need to fight for them. I'm at a crossroads right now. Every day I wake up, it's a struggle not to kill myself. To this day, every single morning, I have to fight these demons in my head. Because I feel like I'm going to go to jail. And I'm going to lose everything. Even though PennDOT said that I can drive, and yes, I'm on these medications, my doctor's like, yes, she's on these medications, but she has mental illness. Yes, I mean, I had everyone backing me up, my therapist, everybody. But this officer, he even, like I told you, he went to my landlord to get me kicked out. But she knows me. She didn't kick me out. But unfortunately, the prosecutor is going for this case. And the judge doesn't even know what I've been doing since then. All these psychiatric centers I went to, all these programs that I decided to do, to work hard, to show them. I think I've been punished enough. Why punish me again? I lost my brother, for God's sakes, okay? I lost his rings got stolen from me. My niece got raped to the point where her inside, she'll never be able to have kids no more. I was touched in the psychiatric center. Haven't I been punished enough? And now they want to throw me in jail? I'm scared. I'm scared. If I go to jail and if I lose everything, those kids will get adopted. My niece and nephew will get adopted. And if they get adopted, I will never have any rights. And I don't want them to forget about me. I don't. They can't be adopted. I need this attorney. This is a winnable case. Every attorney I called said this is a winnable case. I just don't have the money for this attorney. I don't have the money. I spent all my money on fighting for custody of my niece and nephews. My whole savings. And what do I have to show for it? Nothing. Because I honestly didn't believe that I would get in trouble for trying to kill myself. But, this is where I am right now. You know, I have court next month, and I have court March 12th. And, I either go to jail that day, or I can, ask for a jury trial and defend myself. And like they say, you shouldn't be a lawyer. You shouldn't be defending yourself. You're going to always lose. Yes, I went to school for criminal law and justice. Yes, I know the law. Yes, I can be a good lawyer. But you don't ever. Only a fool defends herself. So if I go to jury trial, I could get the max, which is 5 years. 5 years. I mean, this is ridiculous. If I roll the dice and I go to court and I represent myself, because I can't afford an attorney, and a town where I live at, where there's not many people that look like me, I'm done. But I gotta stay strong. Even though I fight these urges every day. I think about Talia and Malik. I think about my brother and what he'd want me to do. He wouldn't want me to keep doing this. I'm just reaching out for help. I need help in any way possible. Because I'm at my breaking point. This is the lowest I've ever been. Even foster care. As bad as it was, this is worse. Losing my brother was worse. So I may make more parts to this as, next month comes, and then the court, and maybe I'll do like a vlog thing where I can like, you guys can come with me and I can show you things. I don't know yet. It just depends. But I definitely want to keep you posted because you guys deserve to know everything. Thank you for listening to me, YouTube family. I may not have a family, but I now have a YouTube family. And I'm happy for that. I really am. So, anyone that's dealing with suicide or any mental health, don't be in the closet. Talk about it. Don't be embarrassed. There's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with it. Alrighty. You guys have a wonderful night or evening, morning, wherever you are in this country. You just take care. And give your mom and your dad kisses. Give your siblings kisses. Give your kids kisses. Because you never know when you'll see them again. Because tomorrow is never promised. They're here one day and they're gone the next.